Title: The Last Train Home. The clock struck midnight as Emma hurried down the empty platform, her breath visible in the cold night air. She had missed the last bus and now only one option remained, the midnight train. The station was eerily silent, save for the distant hum of flickering lights. She glanced around, but no one else was in sight. A shiver ran down her spine. As she waited, a distant rumble echoed through the station. The train approached, slowing to a halt with the screech of metal on metal. Its old, rusted exterior looked like something from another time. The doors creaked open, and Emma hesitated. Something felt off, but the thought of walking home in the dark was worse. She stepped inside. The carriage was dimly lit, the lights flickering erratically. Rows of old, worn seats lined the aisle, most of them empty. The few passengers she could see sat motionless, faces hidden behind newspapers or hats pulled low. Emma took a seat near the back, trying to shake off the unease creeping up her spine. The train jerked forward, and the journey began. Emma tried to distract herself, staring out the window at the passing darkness, but her reflection in the glass kept catching her eye. It seemed wrong, distorted. She looked closer, and her heart skipped a beat. Her reflection was smiling, but she wasn't. Suddenly, the lights flickered off, plunging the carriage into darkness. The train's motion continued, the rhythmic clatter of wheels on tracks the only sound. Emma's heart pounded in her chest. She fumbled for her phone, trying to light the screen, but it was dead. A whisper cut through the darkness. "You shouldn't have boarded this train." Emma froze. The voice was coming from the seat beside her. Slowly, she turned her head. A shadowy figure sat there, eyes glowing faintly in the darkness. She hadn't seen anyone there when she sat down. The figure leaned closer, its breath cold against her skin. "This train doesn't go home," it hissed. "It takes souls to their final destination." Panic surged through Emma as the train began to slow. The doors opened, revealing a station bathed in an eerie, otherworldly light. The passengers around her stood up, moving toward the doors in slow, deliberate steps. Their faces, now visible, were pale and hollow, eyes lifeless. Emma tried to stand, but her body wouldn't respond. The figure beside her grinned, its teeth sharp and unnatural. "You're one of us now." As the last of the passengers stepped off, the doors closed, sealing Emma inside. The train lurched forward, heading into the abyss. Emma's reflection in the window looked back at her, grinning that same unnatural smile. The train vanished into the night, leaving the empty station behind. The next morning, the headline spoke of a young woman who had gone missing after taking the midnight train, never to be seen again. But those who knew the legend whispered that she was still riding that train, forever lost in the void between worlds. The end.